الرحيم يا أيها الناس قد جاءتكم موعظة من ربكم وشفاء لما في الصدور وهدى ورحمة للمؤمنين. O mankind, there hath come to you a direction from your Lord, a healing for the diseases in your hearts, and for those who believe, a guidance and a mercy. This is a Quran. First of all, it's not just Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu, it's Ya ayyuha an-nasu. So this is addressed to humanity. And it's a direction. So this is, Allah has sent you a rahmah, that's a mercy, a hidayah, that's a guidance, Ash-Shifa is a medicine, a tonic, a healing, a cure for all the diseases. And it mentions the heart because sudur, sadr is the chest cavity. You know, sudurin, it means from the heart. We use it for the heart, for the intellect, but it's the chest cavity. So it's for all the internal and external sicknesses that the human being. So what we want to talk about today is a little bit about how to administer the medicine or the healing process. And just as a little anecdote, I'll start off by, we was in a Shia center in LA, and one of the sheikhs, he was a young brother, good brother, I think it was Sheikh Musa al-Hadi. And he is either Iraqi or not Iranian, but he's pretty close by. So it was either he was teaching a class that came to prayer time, and he told the brothers, this is in South Central LA in the 80s. What he told them was, in fiqh, the same thing in Hanafi fiqh too, was a bastard cannot lead the prayer. Somebody is born, out of wedlock and stuff like that. So I just went on and led the prayer, but I told him later on, that's true. I said, I have it right here in Hanafi fiqh, it's true in Shia fiqh. I said, but you have to know how to administer things.
Right.
I said, if I wouldn't have been here, none of these niggas could have led no prayer. They could have, all our people, this is LA. It wasn't one brother in there that, is a welfare mom. It's not to us, it ain't no problem. It's just our neighborhood. But he's from overseas and don't understand. And he's actually, the poor Negroes wasn't even, I forget the look they had on their face. The ones that understood what he was saying, that can't none of y'all, nobody in here can lead a prayer. Because your mother and father wasn't married or something, according to that. So, what he was saying was the truth, but how to administer the truth, how to administer the medicine, the tonic, you know what I mean? Sometimes it's just let nature take its course and keep your mouth shut. Yeah. Just, in the penitentiary, one of the sheikhs come in when I was in Lombard, and he's talking about masturbation as a sin. I said, why you going? I said, forget it. It might have been Jamal Zaragoza, because mostly everything he said then verified what I was saying. I was just thinking some of the brothers had 5 years, some had 10, some had so many years. And when he gets out, till he gets married, he's full of oats and everything. I don't know, what are you talking about? That's a sin. Sure, that's a sin. But going out snatching a girl or in the pen snatching another boy is a little worse. What are you gotta leave somebody some kind of exit point.
One of the brothers was here another brother's here in the 80s.
Right.
You know him, I'm not gonna mention his name, he's deceased now. He's from overseas. So the brothers that were dealing with him said, well, look, we need some money. So the brother told him from overseas, he said, well, just go on in the bank and take the money.
Yeah.
He said, because the money of the kuffar is halal. So the brother thought about it. He said, well, why don't you go in there and take it in? He said, well, I got a bad leg. He said, well, I'll tell you what, I'll break my leg and tie it to yours and we go get it together. So his thing was from overseas, he was kind of Egyptian-like.
Yeah, I know.
But that was his understanding. But that ain't gonna work.
Well, it's the thing is, you can't say it just because it's the truth. You just look at the laws. If that's conspiracy, that's this, that, and other. So you just mumble. Can we do that? Mumble. What do you mean? I just told you, mumble. Just keep mumbling. You know what I mean? Till somebody, whatever they're supposed to get to eventually, they'll get to it. So, the stuff about how to manage the environmental circumstances that we're involved in is a major. I was listening to the radio this morning, early public radio. They have a semi-religious program, and this liberal white lady is Jewish. They had Imam so-and-so, and they had the Jewish rabbi woman, and they just all almost romantic, and we just love your description of God. This is the Jews. But we're jealous of you. This is the Musa talking. Because you challenge God. I said, boy, if we come out here, we're going to whoop his behind. And then the idea come to me, where do you get all these people? They don't never come to us. And then the Jew, these are LA, people in LA, these immigrants breaking their neck to work with Jews and everybody else and isolate you.
Who's a part of the team?
It's unbelievable. So that's why we're into the idea of taking charge of your own environment. It has nothing to do with who we like and who we, excuse me, I only have 2 of these, but I have one for myself. And then you can pass it. I'll start by mentioning some of this stuff at the top. Yeah. At the top, it says, excuse the coloration, but all of this got soaking wet and we was able to rescue it. Why policy of kindness, compassion? help them move from informer to saboteur to liberators. Now this is a question, you know, we've always had not always, but it's been a stated policy from 2009. But this goes back, you can see it, this is 03. Up at the top, the next page, you can see that it has a date, but it has, you can only see the 10 at the top, right here. So I wrote the date down here. It's 10/10/03. And it says, why the policy of kindness, compassion, to help them move from informers, saboteurs to liberators. And I have a little note here in South Africa, necklace, that in South Africa, they will still necklacing Negroes, and you know, that burning tire around your neck. And that's what they did to tattletales. But we're saying that we don't, that is not our policy. Now at the bottom, I have it's clear, state neutral, mouth-to-mouth breathing. That means that the police was, the person that was given Malcolm X mouth-to-mouth breathing when he was supposed to be shot was the police, New York City lieutenant. Then I have down at the bottom, the last two lines, no natural killer instinct. Not a weakness, but a strength. Value people more than the goal. Now this is 2003, what is it, 15 years ago, something like that. It's about 15 years ago, right?
14.
14, okay, that's 14 years ago. So, why am I starting with this page? I'm starting with this page because of the cycle that we're in now. This is about 1 year after our national program year in 2002. That program, the Negroes had acted so bad and they were so nickel and dimish. What we did was, everything was clear then. And we had them, you know, in other words, we had them hooked up pretty good. We wasn't ambiguous about how things was going at all. I remember right here, Abdul-Malik thought he was so slick. We was here, there's a few of us here, and one of the brothers told Abdul-Malik, because we got him thinking that he's the king of Siam, and you know, that we're a dumb Negro. So one of the brothers told him, I want to be like you when I grow up, talking to Abdul-Malik. I want to be like you when I grow up. In other words, as slick as you are, pulling this stuff off right over the wool over the poor Negro's eye right in front of them. That is really something. So I didn't say anything, but I played like I didn't even hear it. But I can bring another one. Another one refers to that whole crew as high school Negroes. I use it from time to time. What that means is the Oakland crew and most of the people that they use are high school mentality. Oakland especially high school mentality. Everything was who go with who, and you go there, they got a whole line of people that have marriage counseling, and whether they're doing it on purpose or whether they just really misfits and can't form clear goals and cooperative futures where, okay, we're married, what do we want out of marriage? Well, let's work toward that. Let's decide what we want. A marriage plan. Okay? That same time, we got people running around like, you know, the Negroes that was prominent around that time. You would have to ask yourself, where are they now? You know, they prominent Negroes almost had suspenders on. They were so prominent. I mean, where are they? And what should our concept be? I just brought this because, see, this part at the bottom, no natural killer instinct, I never had that personally. Now, remember, in a movement, you have to study your environment, you have to study the situational aspects of the society, its history, its beliefs, its function, all those things. You have to study that. But you also have to study yourself to see how you're operating in that environment. They have a saying that revolutions always devour its children. So if you look at the French Revolution, they had the reign of terror. Robespierre and all those boys. That's where the reign of terror comes. They was wiping each other out. The Russian Revolution, after Stalin took over, he just knocked over when Germany invaded Russia in 41. They said, is that blowing cool air or hot air?
It should be turned off.
Does that feel coolish or it don't?
Yeah, I turned it down
Oh,
to 60.
okay.
I thought that make it cut off.
Sometime it cut off, sometime it started blowing a little cool air too.
It's going off.
Yeah, just put it on off, and then when you get ready to turn it on, have the little heater thing up a little bit, the little heat thing. But anyway, revolutions devour its own. It happened in the party here, the so-called Black Panthers, any other party. The revolution devours its own, or it has the people, the government fixes it so us would kill many of the Panthers. In fact, it was UCLA, a bunch of Carter in 69. They killed 4 of the brothers, you know.
I was reading something the other day. They said that they were actually competing with the FBI. They called them Panther killers.
Yeah.
That us was competing with the FBI on killing so many brothers.
Yeah, well, they just rehabilitated. When we went to that program over at the Plymouth Church several years ago, and Ron Carrigo was there, he had just been rehabilitated. The movement just allowed him to even talk because he was considered persona non grata. Anyway, no natural killer instinct, not a weakness, a strength. It's a strength, and you value people more than goals. Okay, life does not function like that. People value their goal first. No matter, in fact, the bigger the goal, in politics, in business, well, who you gotta cut their throat, step on their, you know, that's what you do. You don't put people over goals. In business, in a factory, if the factories here in the U.S. they cost too much money to operate and you pay the people too much, you close it down. You're an American factory, you close that boy down and send it to Vietnam, send it to China, send it to Mexico, maquiladoras. Half the stuff produced here in America is produced right across the border. The border is lined with factories. Factories, all they do is put it on boxcars to send it across the border, right? Right, because you're going to pay those people $2 an hour and you're going to pay people over here $20 an hour. It's a big difference. You may not have to pay taxes, you may not have to you don't have no tariffs, you're gonna do that. So people don't count. How many mills will they close? How many, that's why they wanna keep producing coal. Why? Because the poor people need the money for coal. Forget about smoking up the world with coal, right? So the big companies, they want to do anything to get money. Forget about the environment, right? They didn't just not close down Bears Ears, monuments, and all of these places, and drill in the Arctic, drilling. This environment been clean and pure for 25,000 years. They want to pump some oil in there, get a couple of oil spills. The only pure environment left. And they don't care because their goal is to get money. And people and the environment don't count.
Collateral damage.
Huh?
People are collateral damage.
They're collateral unless. See, it's hard for us to get the people to understand what we're telling them. It's truer than what we say. You don't count to the system, and you don't count. The only thing the system cares about the people is for taxes and money. That's why if they got something that you owe them, you got to pay them in a hurry or you're going to get fined or something. They send me paperwork all the time that don't belong to me and telling me if I don't pay it, I'm in trouble. And if I don't pay it, it's going to cost me, even though they the one who made the mistake. I have to pay it, then fix the problem. Because they'll keep stacking it on. Well, it's on you. Why? Because we are money making. All the cameras and everything, right, is not for public safety, tell the truth. When they pass, they done got so loose, when they pass some guideline or some ordinance in the city council, they say this is a revenue enhancer, this is not for public safety. They done lost, but the police, the traffic is for public safety, not for money, right? So, to solve the problems of the world right now, that's why we got to have some influence, because any problem you solve is going to slow down the cycle of money. So if we make it big solutions, what does it mean? If you go to the crux of the matter, if we got to slow down production for several years and ease away from consumerism, that means we have to take some of the wealth from the rich and give it to the people.